Well, hey everybody, it's T.O. and Mr. Choppers, the most famous rescue dog in America. It's late December, and the weatherman says, "Oh, we got some cold weather coming. Maybe a blizzard." So you can be sure it's probably not going to be near as bad as they're saying, right? But we know for sure it's going to be really cold. So here's a couple of tips for you as we head into bitter cold weather. As we head into the new year. The most important thing you can do right now, guys, is go down and make sure you got a clean furnace filter in your system. T.O. recommends the cheap fiberglass filter. Well, how come? Well, just trust me. I've been doing this for a few decades, and I know what I'm talking about. In this particular instance, cheaper is better. Those pleated filters, they cause an air restriction right out of the gate because the furnace can't suck enough air back to the system to get the heat out. The fiberglass filter is much better, especially if it gets a little dirty. You still got some wiggle room where you don't have with the pleated. So my suggestion is get a cheap fiberglass filter, get it replaced now, because what's going to happen come Thursday here in the Midwest is we're going to get down below zero and the wind is going to pick up. That's the bad part. The wind's going to blow 20, 30 miles an hour and it's going to be below zero. Your furnace is not going to be able to keep up, folks. So don't set it at 70 when it's below 2 degrees and the wind's blowing and it's only 65 in your house and think it's not running right, because it is. Okay? It's below that design temperature where it's not going to be able to keep up with 70. If you got a dirty filter, you're really going to have a problem. You follow what I'm saying? So make sure your filter is clean. Understand that when it gets below zero and the wind picks up and starts blowing, that your system, your thermostat is not going to satisfy even at 70. It may be 65 in your house during those times when the wind's blowing real hard and it's in the single digits or below zero, because that's what your furnace is designed to achieve, not when it gets that bitter cold. So I wanted to make that clear. Hopefully that was clear for you to where it could give you a little bit of understanding. So your furnace filter, remember that you're not going to be able to keep it at 70 if it's bitter cold. And here's something else. This is what drives me crazy that people do. If your system is acting up now, in other words, it's not operating properly for whatever reason, don't pretend like it's going to fix itself, and don't wait until it gets really cold before you call, okay? If it's not operating properly, and you'll know if it's not, then now is the time to check it out. Now is the time to investigate a little bit further, because what's going to happen is when it gets really cold, your furnace is going to run nonstop, and it's going to run nonstop from about Thursday probably into next week, because it's so cold continuously. It's not going to warm up. So your furnace is going to run nonstop. That gives more of an opportunity for a part to go wrong. When it's got that much pressure on the system, that's that much more of an opportunity for a failure to occur. So if you've got anything at all going on now, you need to make sure you nip it in the bud before the cold weather comes, because the HVAC contractors come about Thursday, they're going to be buried with calls. You see what I'm saying? So we make a call to the HVAC contractor, hey, my furnace is out. You might be 25 or 30 people down the list, okay? And they may not be able to get to you for 1 or 2 days, which means you're going to have electric heaters and that kind of thing. So keep that in mind. If you do have a problem, keep that in mind, that it's a first come, first serve. And also I recommend that you go to Walmart. I don't like Walmart, but in this particular case, you could go to Walmart and get a couple of those little electric milk house heaters, is what I call them. They've got a little fan motor on them. They're about $20 a piece. They're electric. They're about 3,500 watts, 3,500 BTUs. And if you had a couple of those in your house, you could get by if your furnace conked out. You could get by with those, and I always recommend that people buy those. So in any event, have a good holiday season. Try to keep preventive maintenance in mind, especially your furnace. And I'll talk to you later. Adios.